In this video, which is only part of the lesson Introduction to Microbiology, we will learn about the different products processed with the help of microorganisms. The different topics addressed in this lesson will be applied microbiology, industrial microbiology, and the products. The themes in microbiology. In your lesson, you will be starting to learn about a new branch of biology called microbiology, further subdivided into basic and applied microbiology. Okay, applied science means the science that can be used in different fields, and also industrial microbiology, which is a subdivision of applied microbiology. We will also be doing a part of environmentally related microbiology. So this part of microbiology, that is the applied microbiology, and two fields under that, mainly in this video, industrial microbiology, which is food and beverage technology, pharmaceutical microbiology, and genetic engineering. How are microbes useful to us? Human beings use microorganisms in many ways, like creating products such as ethanol and enzymes, making drugs such as antibiotics and vaccines, making biogas such as methane, which is a clean fuel, cleaning up oil spills and toxic waste in seas and oceans, killing plant pests. Which products can be produced with the help of microorganisms? There are many products like milk products, cheese, vegetable pickles, wine, bread, probiotic substances, and cattle feed. A branch of microbiology called industrial microbiology, the main features of which are to help with the fermentation process in the production of products like cheese, wine, etc. Also to help with garbage management and pollution control. Very important topics. Fermentation, very important in the food production process, and garbage management and pollution control to do with the environment. A lactobacilli culture bacteria is added to milk to convert it by fermentation and coagulation into yogurt. So this is one of the big processes of industrial microbiology. The yogurt is produced on a large scale using industrial microbiology. Dairy products. Milk is converted into various products for preservation. Milk cannot be kept for a long time. So therefore we make cheese, butter, kefir, yogurt, etc. This is kefir grains. Water content and acidity of milk changes when microorganisms are added to it, and the texture, taste, and the flavor of the product is improved. Yogurt products. Now, yogurt is a milk product and it is produced with the help of the bacteria called lactobacilli. Now, to maintain the protein content in the industrial product producing of yogurt, condensed milk powder is mixed with milk to be fermented. Now this milk is boiled, and once it cools to a warm temperature, then bacterial strains of Streptococcus thermophilus and Lactobacillus delbrueckii are added to it in a 1:1 proportion. Now, two different bacteria added to the milk. Now, lactic acid is formed due to Streptococcus thermophilus, and this helps the proteins to gel out, to come out separately and give this thick or dense consistency to yogurt. Now, the acid aldehyde-like compounds are formed due to lactobacilli, and that gives a characteristic taste to the yogurt. So two different bacteria, Streptococcus and Lactobacillus. Streptococcus forms the lactic acid and makes the proteins come out and give the thick consistency to yogurt, whereas Lactobacilli gives the different taste to yogurt. Nowadays, we have various fruit juices which are mixed to the yogurt to give us different flavors like strawberry, banana, etc. Now, the shelf life of yogurt, that means how long we can keep yogurt, and its probiotic properties can be improved by pasteurization, meaning heating the milk to boiling point and cooling it. When that is done, then the product, that is the yogurt which is made, can be kept for a longer time. The next one is butter. There are two types of butter, like sweet cream butter and cultured butter. The cultured butter is the Amul butter type, the slabs that we get in the market. And these are also produced on a large scale using microbes. Cheese production. Cheese is produced on a very large scale from cow milk, which is available all over the world. The first step, chemical and microbiological tests of this milk is performed. Some colors and microbes like Lactobacilli lactis, Lactobacillus cremoris and Streptococcus thermophilus are mixed with the milk. The reason for this is that they impart sourness to the milk, and after this, to impart dense texture to the milk or the thick texture, and then the whey or the water which is formed in that dense mixture called yogurt, that needs to be removed. Now, an enzyme called rennet was obtained from the alimentary canal of cattle. Now, this enzyme was used earlier to produce cheese. However, today an enzyme protease, which is obtained from fungi, is used to produce vegetarian cheese. So earlier cheese was non-vegetarian because the enzyme used was from the alimentary canal of cattle. But today the enzyme protease is obtained from fungi and used to produce vegetarian cheese. Now, the excess water which is formed during the formation of yogurt, that water is called whey. This water is taken away from the yogurt and it is used for some other processes. Then the process of production of cheese is started using the steps like cutting this solid yogurt into pieces, washing it, rubbing it, salting, mixing of some other essential microbes, pigments meaning colors, and flavors. After doing all these things, the cheese is then pressed and cut into pieces and stored for ripening. Now, this is the type of cheese got when you produce it from microorganisms. The cheese that we get in the market, that is Amul tin cheese or the cubes, are different processed cheeses. The production of probiotics. What are probiotics? They are also milk products, but here now they contain active bacteria like Lactobacillus acidophilus, Lactobacillus casei, and Bifidobacterium bifidum, and many others. Now, these microorganisms maintain the balance of intestinal microorganisms, meaning it increases the population of useful microbes which help in the process of digestion, and they decrease the population of harmful microbes like Clostridium. Probiotic products are available in various forms, the most common being yogurt, then we have kefir, sauerkraut, that is cabbage pickle, dark chocolate, a Japanese soup called miso soup, pickles, oils, corn syrup, artificial sweeteners like equal, microalgae becoming common nowadays, seafood like spirulina, chlorella, blue-green algae, etc. Now, why have probiotics developed so much importance in recent days? When we go to the market, we have food stuff like Yakult, probiotic curd, and it has become now very common. It is because these products, they form colonies of useful microbes in the alimentary canal. So the useful microbes increase and they control other microbes and the metabolic activities of other microbes, that is the harmful microbes. And thereby what happens is your resistance is improved and lowers the ill effects of harmful substances. So now you become healthier because your resistance is improved, your immunity is improved, and the other harmful substances, that effect is lowered. Now, sometimes when we take antibiotics when we are not well, these antibiotics, they are helpful in killing the harmful microorganisms, but also at that time the useful microbes become inactive. And so when we use probiotics or we take in probiotics, these useful microbes which were inactive now become active again. Nowadays, probiotic foodstuffs are also used in the treatment of diarrhea and in the treatment of poultry, that is hens. The production of bread. Now, different types of bread are produced from the flour or the atta of cereals. Okay, so a dough is formed. A dough is when we put our water and all the other things and we knead it. Okay, so that is formed by mixing of baker's yeast or Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Water, salt, and other things that we need to add. We put it together and knead it and form a dough. Now what happens is there is fermentation of carbohydrates by this yeast, and sugar is converted to carbon dioxide and ethanol. The dough rises up due to carbon dioxide gas and the bread becomes spongy. You know, that spongy, very light kind of texture of the bread. It is because of carbon dioxide. Now, when we use yeast in commercial bakery, that is to make bread on a large scale, compressed yeast is used. When yeast is pressed together in the form of tablets and it's used. But in the home or domestic use, we get yeast in dry or in the form of grains. Yeast produced for commercial or industrial use contains various contents, very useful things like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, etc. Due to this, the bread that is produced becomes very good because of the help of yeast, becomes very nutritive. There are other things like vinegar, soya sauce, monosodium glutamate, which is Ajinomoto, presently used in Chinese food, which are also produced by the fermentation of microbes. So this is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. This is the Ajinomoto that we use in Chinese food and the different types of bread. Vinegar production. Now, vinegar is used in every country of the world for the sour taste. Okay, for giving a sour taste to food, for preservation of pickles, sauce, ketchup, chutneys, etc. Now, vinegar is basically 4% acetic acid, or the formula, molecular formula there, CH3COOH. Now, ethanol is an alcohol obtained by fermentation of carbon compounds like fruit juices, maple syrup, sugar molasses, starch of the roots with the help of Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So these things, these products over here, they are fermented with the help of this yeast, and an alcohol called ethanol is obtained. Then mixture of bacterial strains like Acetobacter and Glucanobacter is mixed with this ethanol for microbial degradation. Acetic acid and other byproducts are obtained. Important for us is acetic acid, which is separated from this mixture of other byproducts by a method called rarefaction. This acetic acid is bleached with the help of potassium ferrocyanide. Then it is pasteurized, meaning it is taken to boiling point and cooled. Finally, sulfur dioxide gas is mixed to produce vinegar. Okay. That is the production of vinegar. Soya sauce is produced also by fermentation of the mixture of flour of wheat or rice and soybean with the help of the fungus Aspergillus oryzae. So here we see Acetobacter and the fungus Aspergillus oryzae, important for vinegar production and for the production of soya sauce. Some ingredients of beverage production. Beverage meaning some drinks. This is coffee fruit and coffee seeds. Then we have cocoa fruit and cocoa seeds. Cocoa used in hot chocolate to make chocolates. This is the fruit and the seeds. And Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Microbial enzymes. Now we have been speaking about enzymes. What are enzymes? They are substances produced by living organisms which act as catalysts to bring about specific biochemical reactions. So you've heard of catalysts, how they speed up reactions. Now catalysts are chemical, but enzymes are catalysts which are produced by living organisms. Now, which functions are performed by enzymes secreted in the human digestive system? Okay. Digestion, and the names of some enzymes are as follows. Okay. Amylase, pepsin, trypsin, you have heard about during the process of digestion. What are the advantages of using microbial enzymes instead of chemical catalysts? No, we have heard about catalysts speeding up reactions, but we have not heard about microbial enzymes. This is a new development, but it is advantageous over the use of chemical catalysts. Now, first advantage is they are active at low temperature, pH and pressure. And because of this, no need to increase the temperature and the pressure, energy is saved. Unnecessary byproducts, extra products are not formed, and therefore now we don't spend more money on purification. Then waste materials are not produced, therefore the thing of elimination and decomposition of waste materials are avoided, and the enzymes can be reused. Hence, using of microbial enzymes is eco-friendly. And the groups that are used are groups of microbial enzymes are oxidoreductases, transferases, hydrolases, lyases, isomerases, ligases. Now, process of dirt removal occurs due to mixing of enzymes with detergents or the Tide, Ariel or whatever active bacteria added to it. Glucose of fructose. Those are sugars. Some sugar syrup can be got from corn flour by the action of enzymes obtained from bacilli and streptomyces, and microbial enzymes are also used in industrial production of cheese, textile, leather and paper. Organic acids and microbes used in commercial products. Organic acids, acids got from plants and animals, and the microbes used in commercial, that is when we use it in industry. Now this table is there in your textbook. It has to be read as follows: the source or the food, the bacteria or the microbe used, the amino acid produced, and what is the use. Okay, for example, sugar, molasses and salt, the microbe is Aspergillus niger. Amino acid is citric acid, which is used in drinks, toffees, chocolate production. Another one is glucose, corn steeped liquor. Again, this is what Aspergillus niger looks like. Amino acid produced is gluconic acid, and the use is in the production of minerals used as a supplement for calcium and iron. Okay, so this table is an important table to be kept in mind. Xanthan gum. Okay, you will be surprised to know that xanthan gum is a popular food additive. That is, we add it to food as a thickener to make food thick and to stabilize food. Okay, it is, when is xanthan gum created? When sugar is fermented by a type of bacteria called Xanthomonas campestris. Okay, so this creates a thick jelly, broth or goo-like substance which is made solid by adding alcohol. Now this is Xanthomonas campestris. Now, why is it added and why it is it so popular? Is because of the properties like solubility in hot and cold water. It is soluble in both, high density, okay, and therefore it is useful in the production of pigments. Pigments are colors, fertilizers, weedicides, textile colors, that is the colors to be put on cloth, toothpaste, high quality paper, etc. Okay, and this is what xanthan gum looks like. Another table: substances obtained by microbial processing, like the microbes act on certain food stuff and this is what is produced, and then what is their role, why are these things produced. For example, citric, malic and lactic acid, the role of it in food is to give acidity. Then ascorbic acid, vitamin C, which is very important during this corona times. All of us want to have vitamin C, which is either we have it in tablet form or you can have it from oranges and limes and other food stuff. So these very important vitamins, vitamin C, B12, B2, obtained with the help of microbes, and they are used as antioxidants or vitamins. Then we have vanilla flavored ice cream, vanilla cake, etc. Then we have fruit flavored yogurt, peppermint flavors. Okay, so all these are made by microbes, and the use is to put it as essence in foodstuffs. And another one, important one, xylitol, aspartame, they are used as artificial sweeteners. When people who have diabetes or they don't want to have sugar in their food, they use artificial sweeteners like saccharin and equal to lower the sugar in their diet. Antibiotics. Now, antibiotics are used when you are sick, when you have some kind of a sickness caused by microbes. They are of two types, that is the broad spectrum and the narrow spectrum. These were like erythromycin, tetracycline, gentamicin are broad spectrum antibiotics. Penicillin, monobactam, and bacitracin narrow spectrum. Broad spectrum meaning, now suppose you are sick and you go to the doctor and the doctor says, okay, you have high fever and you have a sore throat. Okay, he will just prescribe probably an erythromycin or a streptomycin for you. On the other hand, if the doctor is not sure and he says, okay, go have a blood test, and you have a blood test and you know exactly what sickness you have, then he narrows down and gives you a antibiotic which is specific to that sickness. So now he won't give you a broad spectrum one, he will give you a narrow spectrum because he knows exactly what sickness you are suffering from. Okay. Antibiotics are used against positive and negative bacteria, gram positive, gram negative bacteria, to cure the related diseases. Now, there are some things that you must keep in mind while you intake antibiotics. Okay, very important is antibiotics should be taken only by doctor's prescription. You know, the doctor will tell you exactly, he knows whether to prescribe broad or narrow spectrum. Okay, we cannot go to the pharmacist and say, okay, I have a sore throat and I have fever, please give me some antibiotics. Okay, the dose should be completed, not left halfway. Meaning, if the doctor says you take this for 5 days and you're feeling good within 3 days, don't stop in between. You have to take it for the full 5 days. They should not be taken often, and diseases got by bacteria and fungi can be controlled by antibiotics. So this is the end of part 1, and the remaining biofuels and other processes will come in the next video.